Hello, Mike Ako. Welcome and mahalo for joining today's Monday, February 28th, 2022, 1 p.m. joint AEN-JDC committee hearing in CR 229 and also video conferencing, which includes the audio and video of remote participants that's being streamed live on YouTube. I'm Mike Gabbard, chair of the Agriculture Environment Committee, and I'm joined today by let's see, my members are Senator Rhodes, Senator Favela, Senator Ocasio, and then Senator Rhodes chair is the chair of the JDC committee.
For JDC, it's myself as chair, Senator Keokalole as vice chair, and Senator Ocasio, Senator Chair Gabbard, of course, and let's see, Senator Kim and Senator Lee and Senator Favela.
Thank you, Chair. So you'll find links to viewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website at capitol.hawaii.gov. And in the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at our next AEN via video conference time slot, which is yet to be determined, and a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. For testifiers, all testifier audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly before it's your turn to testify. And because of our 90-minute time limit for each of the AEN hearings, there will be a 2-minute time limit for all testifiers. And we'll have a virtual countdown timer on the Zoom screen, so please be aware of the timer. I'll be announcing the testifiers who will be providing testimony via Zoom, as well as those who submitted written testimony. And so for the complete list of testifiers, please go to the legislature's website and you'll find a link on the status page or the measure. We apologize if the closed captioning does not accurately transcribe the names. And so for today, we have one bill on today's agenda, SB 2617, relating to vegetative burning. And this prohibits the Department of Health from issuing permits for commercial burning of green waste products in residential areas or within 1,000 feet of a residential property. Okay, and on the testifiers, first up, we have the Department of Health, Environmental Health Administration.
Good afternoon, chairs, vice chairs, and committee members. My name is Marianne Rossio from the Department of Health. The department stands on its written testimony, providing comments, and we're here if you have any questions for us. Thank you very much.
Mahalo. Next is Brandon with the ILWU L142 and the Hawai'i Longshore Division. In opposition? Brandon in the house?
Not present, Chair.
Mary Tubbs is next.
Not present, Chair.
She is in support. Thomas Daniel?
Not present, Chair.
In opposition? Ted Boland from the Climate Protectors of Hawaii.
Thank you, Chair. A little trouble with the video there.
Hello, Ted.
Aloha. Aloha, chairs, vice chairs, members of the two committees. Appreciate your hearing this bill. And for the Climate Protectors of Hawaii, I'm speaking in strong support. That is, we need to use our green waste, not burn it. It's a double whammy for the climate to take an asset like green waste, vegetative waste, and not use it for composting and not return it to the soil where it can benefit farming by putting more organic material in the soil and enriching it. In addition, burning it puts more carbon up into the atmosphere. We have a big problem with our climate. We have to start dealing with it, and this is one of the ways we can do it. At a minimum, we can at least not burn green waste, vegetative waste within 1,000 feet of homes. And so this bill should be passed at least. And if there are ways in which I see a lot of testimony from farmers who are concerned that this will hurt their operations because they won't be able to burn green waste. Well, there should be a program then that enables people to not be hurt by this, that enables people to do composting in an economic way. So I would urge the committee before they decide to not pass a bill like this, that they consider alternative programs that might be used to make what is clearly an asset in green vegetative waste to be used to benefit the society and not become a burden. So the Climate Protectors of Hawaii are strongly in favor of this bill. I appreciate the opportunity to testify, and I'm available for questions, if any. Thank you very much.
Mahalo, Ted. Next is John White in opposition.
Aloha, can you hear me okay?
Yes, fine, John, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair and Senators on the committee for your time. I am also in opposition of this bill. As the gentleman before me just stated, maybe there is a way to do it without burning, but I think it wouldn't be the smartest to be preemptive and limit the farmers to not burn until there is a program in place. If that is part of the plan, I think that this will be detrimental to a lot of farmers and the farming community, as there are residential homes in ag zone areas that are part of the community of farmers, maybe not necessarily directly associated with that farm or that burning, but something that most of us are used to. You know, I have family that live in Waimanalo next to farmlands that do burn on a regular basis. And I can compare it to the sugarcane burns that a lot of us have come to love that and miss that part of Hawaii is kind of heritage-wise, the sugarcane burn and the ashes falling down, even though maybe a nuisance. But I think having such a broad bill being put in front of this committee, or both of these committees rather, I think we should take some more time and take a look at better ways that we can utilize these methods. I know there's some farms where if the burning is ceased immediately, we'll lose jobs. And with the economy and the status it's in right now with the COVID, we can't lose any more jobs.
Thank you, John. Sorry to cut you off, John, but your time's up. Thank you very much. Mahalo. Next is Kainalu Paikai, also in opposition. Tyler,
Hello.
there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, how's it going, Chair and members of the committee? Thank you for letting me speak. I'm Kainalu Paikai. I also oppose this bill. I believe that it's also going to negatively affect the farming. Thank you for your guys' opportunity to speak. Aloha.
Thank you. Mahalo, Kainalu. Next is Tyler Yu.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee for letting me speak. I oppose this bill because this will make it extremely difficult for small local farmers to efficiently run their operations because many of them burn green waste on the same property they live and farm. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Mahalo, Tyler. Next is Richard Gideon.
Hi, good afternoon, Chair. Thank you. My name is Richard Gideon, and I oppose this bill. Like the gentleman stated right before, it will make things extremely difficult for the farmers to run their operations. And the bill is it's overly broad. I just think it needs to be cleaned up a little. That's my part. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Aloha.
Mahalo, Richard. Next is Kaena Paikai. Aloha, Kaena. Turn your mic on, Mike. Kaena. There you go.
All right. How's it? Thank you guys for letting me speak today. My name is Kana Paikai. I too also oppose the bill. I think Hawaii laws and rules are already in place for the Department of Health to regulate air quality. This bill will conflict with other laws already in place, I feel like. And thank you for your time and letting me speak to you guys today. Aloha.
Mahalo, Kaena. Next is Walter Walker.
Not present, Chair.
He is in opposition. Seth Eli, right? Seth in the house.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Go ahead, Seth.
Okay. Hello. I'm also in opposition to this bill. Just like all the other guys stated before me. It's going to be extremely extremely difficult for the local farmers. Most of these farmers live on land that's in close distance of others, and they've been doing this for a long time, and burning their green waste has just been a part of their operation on a normal. And if this bill passes, it's going to be extremely hard for these local farmers. And I just feel that it would just be extremely difficult for the business of operation. So that's my input. Thank you for letting me speak. Have a good day, guys.
Mahalo, Seth. Kodey, saizon.
Hey, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you to the chair and the members of the committee for letting me speak. I, Kodey Saizon, oppose this bill, SB 2617. My opposition to oppose this bill stands due to the following regulations set into place by the state of Hawaii. Hawaii's rules and laws set in place adhere to the Department of Health regulations and rules, which correlate with the EPA. This bill will cause a negative impact amongst local farmers and invasive species. Limiting farmers' ability to burn green waste will cause a major impact for those that have a house dwelling on the agricultural property. This bill should be based on science and not location, which could potentially lead to homelessness if Bill 2617 is passed, since counties already have rules in place causing this bill to be redundant. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Aloha.
Mahalo, Kodey. Next is Blair Nahale.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Chair and members of the committee for letting me speak today. My name is Blair Nahale, and I oppose this bill because SB 2617 will make it extremely difficult for small local farmers to efficiently run their operations because many of them burn green waste on the same property that they live and farm on. So I thank you for the opportunity to let me speak. Aloha.
Mahalo, Blair. Next is Ted Scott.
Not present, Chair.
In opposition, Chad Failma. Chad Failma.
Hi, thank you, members of the chair, for letting me speak. Name's Chad Failma. I oppose this bill. I feel like it's gonna negatively affect the farming. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Next is Cisco Valeho.
Hello?
Cisco, yes.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Chair. Members of the committee for letting me speak. I'm opposed to Bill 2617 because it's going to negatively affect the farming community. Thank you.
Thank you, Cisco. Next is Noah Kassebeer.
Hello.
Aloha, Noah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you for letting me speak. I oppose this bill because I think it's in conflict with the state and county laws, and this bill is overly broad and needs to be cleaned up. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Next is Zorich Palimo'o.
Thank you, chair members of this committee for letting me speak on behalf of the people. My name is Zorich Palimo'o, a concerned citizen of Hawaii, and I oppose Senate Bill 2617. This bill has unintended consequences that will cause many local people to lose their quality paying jobs. And in today's economy in Hawaii, and especially in this pandemic that we are facing, families cannot afford to lose their incomes. If passed, this bill will negatively affect not only the larger farming industries, but the small local farmers as well, as Many of their practices involve the burning and reuse of green waste, and on the same residential properties that they farm and live on. Mahalo for this opportunity to speak and voice my opinions. Aloha.
Mahalo, Zorich. Next is Noah Campbell.
Aloha. Thank you, Chair and members for speak. My name is Noah Campbell. I oppose this bill, and I believe that this bill will limit and hurt the agricultural crops industry's abilities. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak. Aloha.
Mahalo, Noah. Next is Anthony Padilla.
Not present, Chair.
In opposition, Gabriel Pieper or Piper.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Pieper. Thank you, Chair and members of the committee for letting me speak. I oppose this bill, SB 2617, because it conflicts with federal and state and county laws. It will also negatively affect local farmers and local businesses. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo, Gabriel. Next is Luis Manzanas Jr.
Not present, Chair.
In opposition, Trey Ah Yuen.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Chair and members of the for allowing me to speak today. My name is Trey Ah Yuen, and I also oppose this bill. Allowing this bill to pass will have a negative impact on local farmers to operate efficiently and rid of invasive species that affect the crops. Our farmers follow the Department of Health's permitting rules that strictly comply to the air regulations enforced by the federal EPA. This bill will be in conflict with the laws and regulations already in place, and I feel like it needs to be cleaned up. Thank you again for your time and the opportunity to speak today. Aloha.
Mahalo, Trey. Next is Brandon Parker.
Not present, Chair.
In opposition, Chaz Bajet.
Committee members. Hello. Thank you, Chair and committee members, for allowing me to speak today. My name is Chaz Badgett, and as most of these other guys, I oppose this bill. This bill has unintended consequences where it will inadvertently cause local people to lose their jobs. And as people mentioned before, our economy is already, in a tough situation. It also will negatively affect the farmers and their abilities to get rid of invasive species of plants, which we've known has been a problem on many of the islands. Mahalo for allowing me to speak, and thank you for your time.
Mahalo, Chaz. Next is Joshua Demello.
Hello.
Aloha.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we like to see you too, brah.
Oh, let me try to fix this.
There you are.
Okay. Thank you, board and member of the chair. I'm Joshua Demello, and I also oppose. The counties already have regulations of burning of green waste. Aloha, and thank you for letting me speak.
Mahalo, Joshua. Next is Burton Chun.
Hello, you guys can hear me?
Yes.
How's it? Thank you, Chair and members of the committee, for letting me speak. My name is Burton Chun. I also oppose this bill. SB 2617 conflicts with federal, state, and county laws. Counties already have regulations for burning of green waste. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Aloha.
Mahalo, Burton. Next is Christopher Finau.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak.
My name is Chris Finau. I oppose this bill. This bill conflicts with federal, state, and country laws. And thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Next is Douglas Hugh.
Hello, my name is Douglas Hugh. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on SB 2617. I am in strong opposition to this bill, just like all the reasons before me, but counties already have regulations for this type of burning of green waste, and also with the negative impact to farming. It's going to hurt the agricultural crops industry, and SB 2617 will hurt Hawaii's ability also to get rid of invasive species like the albizia and the strawberry guava. And again, I am in strong opposition to this bill. Mahalo nui for your time.
Mahalo, Douglas. Next is Levi Archuleta.
Not present, Chair.
Yes. Hello.
He's here. Levi?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear Burton Chun. Is Levi there?
Yes, I was not able to log on my Zoom.
Okay, go ahead, Levi.
First, I'd like to thank the chair and members of the committee. My name is Levi Archuleta, and I oppose SB 2617 bill because it would make it extremely difficult for small local farmers to efficiently run their operations because many of them burn green waste on the same property they live and farm on. Thank you for the opportunity. Aloha.
Mahalo, Levi. Next is Hubert Pruett.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair, and members of the committee for allowing me to speak today. My name is Hubert Pruett. I oppose this bill. Air quality regulations should be based on existing science, not location. Thank you.
Thank you, Hubert. Next is Keenan L. I don't have your last name, Keenan.
Hi,
Keenan Luke. Okay.
hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, thank you, Chair and members of the committee for allowing me to speak. My name is Keenan Luke. I also oppose this bill. I believe this bill conflicts with federal, state, and county laws. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak.
Mahalo, Keenan. Next is Pomai Kalama.
Aloha. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Please start your video. Okay. Just trying to get the video. They just allowed. Oh, there we go.
All good.
There we go. Aloha. Thank you, Chair and members of the committee for allowing me to speak. My name is Pomai Kalama, and I oppose this bill as well. SB 2617 is definitely overly broad. It needs to be cleaned up. I do have a lot of small local farmers as friends out on the North Shore, and it will negatively affect these farmers. Again, mahalo for allowing us to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Pomai. And members, that's all for our testifiers. Are there any questions?
Chair, I had a question for DOH if you're still here. Does the department issue burn permits for non-commercial burning of green waste, or is that not covered?
No, so our permits, we don't allow open burning. There's a ban on open burning, but we do have certain exceptions like agricultural burning permits with a valid agricultural business. So we do verify that it is a valid agricultural business before we would issue an agricultural burn permit.
There's no permit process for the non-commercial stuff is just banned. There's no permitting allowed.
Yes, there's no backyard burning. There are other exceptions that might be allowed for certain things like ceremonial, abating a fire hazard, getting rid of disease or pest, those type of things. But you would need approval from the department as well for those type of things. So there are some exceptions.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Chair.
Senator Ocasio.
Just also for the Department of Health, just could you do a brief explanation of what the current basic parameters are under the rules and regulations for getting a burn permit?
So our open burning is in our Hawaii Administrative Rules 1160.1 -51, subchapter 3. So to get an open burn permit, you would have to do an application which lists what you're going to burn, where you're going to burn it with maps, the predominant wind direction, and that you have a valid agricultural business. So once we get the application, we would do an on-site inspection or evaluation. So one of our environmental health specialists would go out to the site, talk to the applicant, look at where the burn location is, what is the predominant wind conditions, what is the surrounding area, and check that you have a valid license, you're in an agricultural business, and talk with the applicant before a burn permit would be issued to try to see what the location is and to mitigate any kind of air pollution impacts to the community, surrounding community.
Okay, thank you. Just to follow up, so then do you take into consideration currently then the proximity to residential or those things in terms of denying permits?
We would look at what is around, but it's not just a matter of how many feet away it is. It's a matter of how the predominant wind condition is. So it's not just a strictly you're 50 feet away or you're 100 feet away, or it's kind of a case by case basis.
Yeah, more factors involved. Okay, another question, if I may, Chair.
Go ahead.
Okay, for the Department of Health also, what if any are current options for farmers to have their green waste picked up and used to make compost and perhaps be picked up again, or for biomass energy options? Are you aware of any programs right now within the state or Department of Health that allows for compost waste to be picked up? And it just in terms of like mitigating some of the concerns that we're hearing from farmers, for example.
Yeah, sorry, as I don't know of any programs right now that are existing. I may not be aware of them, but I don't know of any offhand.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
Chair,
Yes, Senator Favela.
I forget the gentleman's name that was earlier in the video that talked about how, burning it is not good for the environment and all that. So I don't know his name, so I'm just gonna address this.
Ted Boland is his name.
Is he still there?
Yes, I'm here, Senator.
Okay, I just wanted to bring up a couple of things. Composting is just as much in danger to the environment as burning it. It gives off a different kind of gas. I don't know if you ever been down to Hawaii Earth Products. I used to work down there for the city. And if you don't mix and you don't constantly tend to the compost, it catches fire because of the different natural gases come out of there. It catches fire. It's very dangerous. I don't know if you ever seen a compost fire. So there's small farmers that is explaining to you guys why they need this. One is to control bugs. One is to also get rid of invasive species. Right now, this bill sounds great, but there is no parameters into protecting our small farmers. Then now the local farmers are going to go out of business because they have no parameters for them. So when you say that burning it for energy is not as good as composting, I kind of half and half on that, because city been doing it and the state been doing it for years. So there's no room in the landfill, and Hawaii Earth Products cannot take our product, which they charge the city $300 a ton of our taxpayers' money. It's not cheap and it's not easy. So composting sounds good as a story, and that's what it is. It's not easy for a small farmer to compost. It ain't. It's very dangerous to do that because you got to maintain it. So if you want to spend more money at Hawaii Earth Products in taking $300 a ton to over there and provide all these farmers with bins that somebody else can pay for to pick up, then that sounds good in a whole. But you cannot just say burning it is not good for the environment because of the CO2s, because I beg to differ on some of the stuff that comes out of that compost and the heat, the extreme heat that gives off to the earth. by composting it at a large amount. So you want to see on that way, it sounds good because we're trying to protect the earth and all that. But composting, you can't even stay 10 feet from it. That's how hot it generates heat. So how bad that is for the environment, that's not good. The same thing is not good. So, I hear everybody saying that we should go that way. But can you tell me what kind of scientific fact you have between composting in a large and burning it, and how much CO2 is going in the air while you're burning it, and how much CO2 gas comes out of it when you're storing it? Do you have a scientific data on that?
Senator, I worked for 15 years as the wastewater branch's attorney for the Department of Health, and I recognize your concern about methane, which comes from waste if not properly treated. You raise a valid point with that. I also participated in a brief to the United States Supreme Court regarding fine particle pollution, and the EPA estimates that 100,000 people a year are killed by fine particles because you breathe them deep into your lungs. It causes asthma, COPD, and some deaths. So there are pollution issues that are very serious here, and I think at a minimum, the burning should stay away from people's residences. But in addition, as a matter of kind of broad policy for the state going forward, we need to do something about climate. And I agree with you that we don't want to produce methane, so it's not a matter of just piling this stuff up in a landfill. We also want to save money from landfill disposal. So it's not a question of just, oh yeah, let's throw it in the landfill, or let's just pile it up and let it develop methane, or the heat that you reference as a concern. This stuff has to be properly handled. And that's a program that the state ought to consider in conjunction with composting bills that are in front of the legislature this year, and developing programs that work for the farmers, work for the residents who are nearby, and work for the whole of the world in terms of the environment. We can do this if we work together on it. I agree this bill is not yet ready to cover all of that, but at least as a first step with regard to not burning near residences, it's a good step. And I think it ought to be approved in that regard. On a longer term, I'd like to see the legislature work with other bills to produce a program that makes use of this resource of green waste and not burns it, throwing it up into the environment in a way that will heat the climate. And we're going to be underwater, folks. We got to do something about the climate now and not in 2045. So I urge the legislature to get on this. And I appreciate, Senator, I appreciate your question, and I appreciate the opportunity to answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, can I have the Department of Health?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question to you on these permittings and residential and farmland, yeah? So a lot of our farmland, can you hear me? Sorry. You guys can hear me? So the reason why I bring this up is because we're talking about now, he just brought up residential. But in these areas that people are farming, there was farms before residential. Now residential is coming in. Same thing how the agricultural died on the neighbor islands because residential homes was being built around a sugarcane plantation, and all of a sudden they didn't want the burning because of the smoke. Then now they're dealing with dust, landslides, and fire, a lot of fire. So I'm just saying, so these permits that you guys are having come to you guys, how much of those small farmers that was farming there for decades before residential came into the neighborhood? Do you guys have an idea?
I don't know. I don't have those numbers right now with me. I know we had looked, did a brief screening out of the total number of ag burn permittees that we have on record. Well, at that time was about 89, and about 80 of them were located within about 1,000 feet from a residence. So we do have that to give us an indication of how many may be impacted.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they moved in to that area after, or, I don't know that. I don't have that timeline.
The other question is, okay, now the Department of Health, if this bill does go forward and they ban, are you guys are going to go out to these farmers and educate them on I'm not sure, I'm just asking this question. Are you guys going to educate them on how to compost? Because like I said, even Hawai'i Earth Products is doing it, and it's very dangerous, and it's extra work for the farmer when they have bugs and invasive species on their property. And would you guys have something like that with going within this bill? You guys would do something with that parameters, you think?
Not, as the AIR program, we wouldn't go out and educate on composting. So I don't believe that would be part of our work with the farmers. But to do composting or alternative means, I do see that the farmers would need more resources and funding to use an alternative method.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I just appreciate that. I just wanted to say this, Chair, that is as much as we try to get our ag land to be farmed and continue to farm ag land that is not being farmed now, I think this is going to set us back. So I'm not really privy to this bill. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I also wanted to mention following people sent in their written testimony. They are all opposed: Ali'i Fernandez, Alani Hood, Alika Mike Makui, Miles Yoshioka, Keone Pakini, Sutira Suarez, Meredith Osbill, Ashley McGuire, Michael Carrion, Felicia Graham, Joyce Barbarich, Georgette Nassis, Jesse Chambers, Scott Sebajian, Alana Kaili, Clinton Blackman, Kelsey Beck, Dane Kaluhiba, Chauncey Dunhauer, Robert Enriquez, Kikoa Masutani, Jay Amina, Jonathan Tuine, Logan Freitas, Wade Turlap, Keone Mendiola, John Robinal, Clayton Glass, Kahikili Fuchs, Dave Terrier, David Chu, Christine Holler, Nepo Leutu, Akito Kapilan, Travis Rabeliza, Pam Latinas, Zachary Matsunaga, Derek Petrowski, William Campbell, Seth Hoke, Leland Fusak, Kyle Miyahana. So there were 75 opposed, 2 in support, and then there was the DOH comments. Okay, so as far as decision-making, I don't think it's necessary to go into the breakout room. Based on the testimony of the Hawaii Farm Bureau, Department of Health, and the 75 others in opposition, the chair would like to recommend that we defer SB 2617 indefinitely. As the department was pointing out, one of the things that in their burning rules that they issue in the permit, the rules are that the permit can be terminated or suspended if any of the conditions of the permit are violated. So, or if it's deemed not to be in the best interest of the public. And as DOH mentioned, of the 89, they've got 89 current permits out there. But they did mention they've received only 2 complaints over the last year, and one of which was withdrawn after the permittee worked with the department to relocate the burn pile. So with that said, I'm requesting that DOH work with the bill's introducers and those who requested the bill to see if some solutions to their concerns can be reached outside of the legislative process. So with that, the chair's recommendation would be to defer indefinitely. Chair Rhodes?
You don't really need me at this point, but yes, I concur in the deferral.
Okay, great. And with that, we'll conclude the 1 o'clock joint here. Thank you very much for your time. Aloha.